Hi, I'm Carla. Thanks for joining me today. It's been exactly 10 months since I had rotator cuff surgery to my left shoulder. I then also had to work at mobilizing it because it was a frozen shoulder. And now I'm working on regaining strength in this arm. I'm quite happy with where we're at mobility-wise. Needs a little bit of work, but it's almost there. With the right shoulder, also developed a frozen shoulder sort of 3 months into the whole op thing. So that has been 7 months now since this right shoulder was a frozen shoulder. And mobility-wise, it's getting there slowly. There's a little bit of pain, but I'm working through it. And there's a few poses that I have been unable to do for quite some time. But because of the work that I've been doing with my yoga practice and with what the physio and the chiro have suggested, I'm sort of slowly building up to poses like Shirshasana, the head balance, Pincha Mayurasana, the peacock feather pose. I'd like to be able to do a back bend again. So even Chaturanga Dandasana, the push-up. So there's a lot of poses I haven't done for a very long time. And I'm sort of back to the basics, back to beginner. And I thought it would be good to record a class where you're working on shoulder mobility and strength for beginners. So if you are working into perhaps getting back into a handstand or one of the inversions or a back bend, perhaps these are some of the exercises that you can do. So listen to your body, especially if you're a beginner, work with your breath and work safely. If you've been sitting for a while in a cross-legged position, you can just change the cross of the legs. Sitting up tall, opening up the chest, extending the spine, bringing the hands together in the prayer position. So keep the shoulders away from the ears, skin of the face soft, and let the eyelids become heavy and close. With the eyes closed, come to your body. Just be with your breath. See how the breath affects the body. Each inhalation, lift the spine tall, open up the chest without lifting the shoulders. Each exhalation, soften the skin and the muscles of the face. So relax the cheeks, the jaw, relax across the top shoulder. Relax also at the groins and the hips, let the knees stay settled down. If you're unable to get an extension of your spine, if the groins are really tight, then take a little bit more blankets, folded blankets to sit on. To quieten the mind and bring the focus to the mat, we'll begin with the 3 Oms. Just release the head down, lift the chest up, get a lovely stretch across the back of the neck, the top shoulder region. Keep the spine tall. Take your hands into your lap and lift your head. Let the eyes gently flutter open and focus. Okay, we're coming to Adho Mukha Virasana and working into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take whatever supports you need. Toes coming together, knees are apart, and you're just extending forward. So I wasn't always able to get the head to the floor. I was a little bit, at first it was here. So as I've progressively managed to get that openness in the armpit, I'm able to also get the head comfortably on the floor now. So you have to feel within your own body If your head is dropping down a lot and the back of the neck is all curved and you're unable to get the head comfortably down, then taking either a brick or a folded blanket is very helpful just to even it out. And then you can start to intensify that openness in the armpits. So for poses like handstands, for poses like Urdhva Dhanurasana, the back bend, all of these require open armpits. So if you are able to, taking your hands on bricks, here your head might not drop all the way to the floor, but using your breath as you exhale, trying to see, can I work into opening the armpits a little bit more? So just taking a few breaths here. Try not to let the triceps flare out. So the outer upper arm, that tricep, you have to roll that in and roll the bicep up so that this top shoulder you can release a little bit. The shoulder blades move up, but the skin at the top of the shoulder blade, release it down. At the top shoulder, move it away from the ears. So here, just working again into mobility. Coming up, bringing the bricks onto a tall height. So this isn't the most comfortable way of doing it. You can do it on a stool or a chair, but you again are trying to bring the outer upper arm in. So you're not flaring the arms like that. If you allow the arms to flare, you tighten here. You want to have that. So it's more an external rotation. Get the outer elbow onto the bricks, taking your palms together, sitting back on the buttocks. They just need to adjust your distance. And then we're working on getting the buttocks back and getting that openness in the shoulders. So I can feel here the right one's a little bit more stuck. And whenever you feel that resistance, just be there. You can let go a little bit. You can soften a little bit. Have a nice deep exhalation there. And then see, can you hold that to a point where it starts to maybe release. And then if it feels like it's releasing, you can, on an exhalation, get the shoulder blades in, open the armpits more, start to increase the range of motion, but be patient. When you feel discomfort, especially if you're working with an injury, back off a little bit again. Just breathe into it, see, can it let go? And up you come. So when you're working on things like handstands and back bends, you need not only mobility in the shoulder joint, but you absolutely also need strength. So coming to Adho Mukha Svanasana. In Adho Mukha Svanasana, make sure that you are getting a nice spread across the palm, so the fingers are opening up. You're releasing the heels towards the floor and shooting the buttocks up towards the sky. So don't be hasty about taking your heels down for now. Just be there with the nice firmness in the legs. Push into the hands, extend the spine. Press into the index finger and the thumb mound and feel the strength that that brings to the arms. Elbows are firm. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, you're going to control the abdomen, bring the tailbone in, lift the chest through, and when your shoulders are over your hands, this is the plank pose, Palakasana. Palakasana is good at developing upper body strength, pushing into the hands, move back into downward dog. I've been told not to do too much static work, so in terms of developing strength, what I've been doing is coming forward into Palakasana and then keeping the abdomen and the legs firm, bringing the right hand to the left shoulder and back down. left hand to right shoulder and back down. So just a gentle sway to the side, trying to not exaggerate it. And in this way, working on strength. And whenever you need, back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you want to build up the strength slowly, especially if you're working with an injury. Release in Adho Mukha Virasana. Let the forearms rest on the floor. And understand that although, you know, it's a wonderful goal to have, you do need to put in these baby steps to eventually get to it. Nobody, or not many of us, are able to naturally do handstands and backbends. For a lot of people, myself included, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of practice, so you do need to just keep persevering. For those kinds of poses, you do also need abdominal strength, flexibility, and all the rest of it, but today's focus is on shoulders. So a few nice warm-ups for the shoulder. Urdhva Hastasana. So I was unable to do this for a long time. Now finally I've got it back. So here, locking the elbows, feeling the muscles of the upper arm firming to the bone, extending the arms, turning the palms to face up, taking the arms to Urdhva Hastasana. So in Urdhva Hastasana, palms face each other, arms are locked and firm. Once more, I'm trying to not let the elbows flare and the shoulders scrunch, but to draw this outer upper arm in, roll the bicep out, and soften the shoulder. I'm still working on full mobility, so without swinging the buttocks and the abdomen forward, reach up the arms, move the upper arms behind the head. Don't be tempted to bring the head forward so much. Breathe. Whenever you need to release, you can release. If you want to work a little bit harder, bring the hands together. See, can you get the palms to touch? Still opening the armpits. Releasing to Urdhva Hastasana, Utthita Hastasana, sorry, and back to Tadasana. In this Tadasana, just let there be softness here. So don't bring that immediate alertness to the Tadasana arm and the hands. Just let there be a complete sense of release and quietness. Bringing the hands to Namaskarasana. On an inhalation, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, Utthita Hastasana. From Utthita Hastasana, exhaling and bringing the hands together and taking them up the back. So I'm really struggling with Paschimma Namaskarasana, but do your best. If you're where I'm at, you're trying to get the hands up a little bit further. You're trying to bring the palms together. It's helpful to roll this forearm so that that inner wrist faces the floor. So don't have the back of the wrist against the arm. Outer wrist bone climbs up the back along with the pinky. And then the inner wrist bone, bring that palm and the thumb together. Open the shoulders. So my right wing still doesn't come in, but you want to keep working at evenness across the chest. And then release. From here, interlace the fingers, turn the palms to face out, Badangulyasana. Opening the armpits, moving the arms back, top shoulder soft. Release the hands, interlace the cross the different way, stretch the arms up, Badangulyasana. From Badangulyasana, just release the arms again. Once more, soften, relax, quieten me. Okay, so warming up the shoulders is important, especially, as I said, for handstands and things. I've been working on Shirshasana. In Shirshasana, it is important to take a little bit of support for your head. You obviously are not going to do it if you have any neck or shoulder injuries. And a lot of people find the tripod pose the easiest to get into. But generally with beginners, we'll do Shirshasana with the fingers interlocked so that you've got more stability going in. The tripod position is easier for some, but it's very taxing on the neck. I'm still unable to go into my full Shirshasana. I am working on it, but I can feel that this right shoulder is not just yet there yet. So with your blanket, you interlace the fingers, placing the forearms on the floor. You want the bottom wrist bone to be pressing in and the top wrist bone balanced over, so don't open up the wrists. Elbows are underneath the shoulders, back of the head is long when you place the head, the crown of the head on the floor. Now, when you start to lift up, if you drop the shoulders, you're going to be scrunching the neck. So you have to press the forearms into the floor and keep the shoulders lifted away from the ears so that the top shoulder isn't dropping and the neck is not scrunching. If you're scrunching your neck, you're doing a lot more harm than what the benefits of Shirshasana will bring. You have to keep that openness in the neck. If you're a beginner and you've never done Shirshasana, a good way to begin Shirshasana is not to put the head on the floor at all. Interlace the fingers, get that triangle, and work on strength. So work on flexibility, work on bringing the feet in so that the buttocks can come over the shoulders, press the forearms into the floor. So this is where beginners should begin. Getting that strength in the shoulders, letting the head be soft and relaxed here, working on flexibility. And each time you exhale, you press into the forearms, making sure that the wrist bone is down, outer elbows are not flaring. And you just be there for a few breaths. Whenever you need to come down, you come down, you relax your shoulders. So if you have blood pressure issues and you've been down for long, you can also just rest your head. So don't be hasty to do Shirshasana. These prep positions are important because they develop the strength in the correct body parts. You'll get the mobility by doing the mobility work. And then when you feel ready, when you're strong enough, going into Shirshasana will be a breeze. Yeah. So practice that. When you've had a rest, change the cross of the interlocks of the fingers and let's go again. So this is developing strength, working on flexibility. And here you're absolutely safe, the neck is free. You can work the legs strongly. Keep pressing the forearms into the floor as if you want to move the floor away from you, lengthen the sides of the body, lengthen the spine. Whenever you need to rest, come down and without disturbing the blanket, have a look and you'll see that the blanket creates a nice wave where the elbows are straining, the forearms are moving out. So you have to continually keep that outer upper arm in to keep those outer elbows in. So work on developing the strength. Don't be hasty to go into Shirshasana. If you do practice Shirshasana and you want to go into it now as part of your practice, absolutely. If you'd like to prepare for, if you are strong enough and you've been practicing this, then perhaps start in the Bakasana Shirshasana, so the tripod one, where your hands are shoulder distance apart, fingers are spread. Don't bring your head where your hands are. Take your hands on the floor so you've got nice grip of your mat. And now you're not bringing your head in between your two thumbs. Your head forms the apex of that triangle. So you're going to take the head there and then press into the hands. Keep the shoulders lifted as you lift the knees off the floor. Elbows stay in, shoulders stay up, back of the neck stays long. If it's within your practice to do Shirshasana from here, then absolutely go into Shirshasana. This is my practice. This is how I've been working on developing, getting back into my full Shirshasana. So I know what is required of my shoulders, my neck, my alignment. You need to do your practice. You need to listen to your body. And again, if you are recovering from injury, go slowly. Don't be tempted to overdo. Whenever you release from Shirshasana, take some time to just relax in the child's pose. So the other pose I've been unable to do for a very long time is Pincha Mayurasana. And it's because, as you saw in Shirshasana, the elbows want to come out. It's hard work on the shoulders to keep that structure. But that structure of the shoulders and the elbow alignment is quite important, especially when you're doing a pose like Pincha Mayurasana. So taking a strap, one of these straps that you can just open a loop from inner armpit line to inner armpit line. I'm taking mine a little bit wider because I am still working on getting full mobility in the right shoulder. It's not quite there yet, so I don't want to push it. And the strap just above the elbow will hold the elbows in place from splaying out. And if you take your finger, index finger and thumb like an L next to the brick, then that works as a spacer. It's going to stop the index finger mounds from coming together, but the thumb and the index finger mounds are on the floor. From here, pushing into the forearm lift up. So this I find a lot more challenging than in head balance, but work within your scope of practice, work within your range of motion, but work. Can you develop the strength? Can you, with each time you come to your mat, get that little bit of extra mobility? Keep pressing into the forearms, keep the legs strong. And then whenever my body feels, okay, this is enough, I come down. Because the last thing I want to do is to aggravate the injury. So listen to your body, not your ego. And in all of these poses, once you develop the strength and the mobility in the shoulders, the next thing that you're going to be doing is taking one leg up at a time, taking one leg up at a time. Yeah. So if that's where you are in your practice, then go for it. Practice one leg up at a time, and then eventually the hopping and getting into the full inversions. The other pose I've been working on getting back is my Chaturanga Dandasana. I had to start as a beginner word against the wall. So these are always so important to come back to. They help you to control the abdominal alignment. They help you to keep that top shoulder away from the ears. They just help you to develop your strength slowly until eventually you make it down to a chair. And then when you no longer need the chair, you're going to start on the floor. Now, there's various different ways that you can work into preparing for Chaturanga Dandasana. First off, from all fours, take your hands a full hand step forward. And then from here, you can keep the knees and the feet hip distance apart, keep the knees on the floor, toes turned under. You're going to swing your weight forward and start to bend. But now as you bend, also think of pushing the floor away from you. Keep the abdomen back to the spine. So that's as far as I can get at the moment. Yeah. Eventually, you're going to want to do it with straight legs. And I haven't yet got the strength in my arms to take or to bear my weight without having my buttocks drop. So taking some support for the buttocks and the thighs rather than having the knees on the floor. Now again, elbows tuck in, and here it gives me a lot more courage. So I can start to perhaps work to more the correct shape of Chaturanga Dandasana. So I'm not stuck in one position. I can still work the muscles of the arms this way. And then again, pushing into the floor, I can come to like a supported upward dog, have a rest, and then again, just keep going. Keep the legs strong, abdomen firm, spine long. And just feel what your body's feeling. So although I'm working into these poses, I do have to just be sensible that I don't overdo. So whenever you feel the need to release, just release back onto your bolster. Okay. Urdhva Dhanurasana, I haven't been able to do yet, but what I have been working on is back bend in the chair. So all the other back bends, the strengthening ones, Bhujangasana, those are all coming back really easily now. And so Chaturanga is the one I'm working on the most. But in terms of back bends, I'm still not quite getting the full openness that I need in the armpits. So having a chair, one like this that doesn't have a back, you're going to set yourself up relatively close to a wall. Have a blanket or fold up a mat on top of the chair. And you're going to thread yourself through the back of the chair. Then getting the buttocks off the chair so that my sacrum, just get this chair straight. So chair is straight and the buttocks are off the chair. My sacrum is resting on the chair. My shoulders are resting on the front seat. And here, if I hold onto the wall, I can work on getting this elbow in. So that's my biggest problem, is this external rotation of this right arm as such. And also strength. And then from here, you can walk down a little bit more. Just working on getting it. So when it gets to a point where I'm stuck and I can't anymore, to kind of back off and help it along with the other arm. To work on opening armpits more, release the forearms away from the floor and holding onto the forearms, cross the forearms, slide the forearms down. Don't hang out here a lot. If you've got blood pressure issues, surely you won't be doing this if you're pregnant. Neck issues, just be careful also. So I had a full practice and this is just kind of getting back into it. And if you're a beginner with no injuries and no medical conditions, these are the kinds of poses you would work at, getting this armpit mobility and just starting to work into your back bend. Bringing the arms overhead, hold on to the back seat of the chair, tucking your chin, just push yourself into the chair, slide right back into the chair so that you're not right up against the backrest. Just be here for a few breaths. Steady up the spine. From here, Bharadvajasana, so taking a gentle turn to the right. Just take this front of the right shoulder back. You can use the chair or wrap your right arm around to the back waist. So this is also a movement I'm very restricted in. And then back to center and twisting the other way. And back to center. To come up, lift the chair, and we're stepping out of the chair. Okay. So Gomukhasana arms and Garudasana arms are also still a challenge for me. So I've been doing my Parsvottanasana with Gomukhasana arms. Right. Coming to stand in Tadasana. You step the feet apart. Take the feet wide so that the ankles are beneath the wrists. And then from here, you're going to windmill the arms. So the right arm will go up, the left arm goes underneath, and you're trying to clasp the fingers behind the back. I can feel like I'm almost there, but it's not quite. You can take a strap if you need, otherwise just keep working. Turn the feet to the right. Stabilize the legs by pressing into the feet. Legs are strong. Chest lifts, right elbow lifts, and exhale, come to Parsvottanasana to the right. And you've been there for a few breaths. Strong legs, lift up. Turn the feet. Extend the arms from Utthita Hastasana. So this is my super challenging side. Get your arms in there, wrestle them in. Try to keep this right shoulder back and the right elbow down more than I can. Turn the feet to the left. And now with strong legs, extend over that left leg. Grip the mat with your feet. The hips are turned. Right hip turns towards the left. And then inhale, strong legs come up. Turn the feet. Release. Release the arms. So you can also do it with the arms the other way. So now we're going to the right again this time, taking the left arm up, right arm down to the same arm position we had a moment ago. Turning the legs, turning the hips. Exhale and Parsvottanasana. Keep the legs pressing strongly back, extend the spine forward, come up. Turn the feet. Release the hands, Utthita Hasta. Windmill them to Gomukhasana arms where the right arm is up. Turn the feet. And now the right arm moves to the left. Right hip turns to the left. When you've been there for a few breaths, strong legs, long spine, come up, turn the feet, release the hands, and bring the feet back to Tadasana. Have a rest here in Tadasana. Feel the sensations in your shoulders all the way to the fingertips. This soft Tadasana is also a chance to catch your breath. And now we're going to take the feet apart once more. Bring the hands into Paschimottanasana Namaskarasana as best you can, even if it's just a fingertip touch. Strong legs, extend forward to Prasarita Padottanasana. Firm up your legs, extend your chest and your spine forward. Once you're standing, slowly bring the feet together, release the feet together, release the hands once more. Feel that softness across the shoulders, that quietness. in the arms. Just relax for a moment. We're coming now to Sarvangasana. Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder balance, is one of the first inversions that you learn, and it's usually done on a little bit of height, or at least in an Iyengar yoga class, we use height. And you can do it against a wall with a small bolster also, which is what I've been doing because I've been unable to actually get that to be able to get the arm into this position is rather painful for me. So although I am working towards it, it's not yet there. So I've been coming into sort of a Niralamba Sarvangasana. Now in Niralamba Sarvangasana, you want to have a bolster. You can do it with your head facing the wall so that you can use your hands to hold onto the wall if you need. I've got this nice firm bolster, but you can use folded blankets or shoulder balance foams, like what we normally do in an Iyengar class. So coming to Halasana here, in this position, my shoulders are quite comfortable. And then to lift up into a Niralamba position. Keep opening the front groin here, taking the front thigh back and the middle buttock in. Back of the neck is long. I lost it there. It's kind of challenging to talk and to do it. Make sure that you feel that the back of your neck is long. Your throat is soft. Be with your breath. Keep straightening the legs. Keep stretching the sides of the body. Gaze soft towards the heart center. When you've had enough, you're going to release. Just move down a little bit onto the support so that the head and the shoulders are relaxed. Again, none of these inversions, you shouldn't be doing them as a beginner for the first time. You kind of are working into them slowly. So Salamba Sarvangasana is the first one you use, and it's quite an easy one to balance in. So yeah, start with Salamba Sarvangasana, check out some tutorials and work from there. From here, I'm coming to lie on my back. I often will also add abdominal work into my routine. And because I'm unable to do Garudasana arms, Garudasana lying down is somehow a little bit easier for me. So bringing the legs and the arms to Garudasana, touching the fingertips behind, the feet to the floor. Inhale, and as you exhale, you bring the knees and the elbows together. Inhale and go back to the extended position. And just do as many of those as you can with your breath. So you do as many as you can, as many as you have time for, and then release and rest. Going to, once you've had a rest, we'll do the other side. So the right arm is wrapping under the left, right leg is wrapping over the left, fingertip and toe touch, exhale, knees and elbow touch. Inhale, extend again, exhale, together. Use the exhalation to empty the abdomen, to contract those muscles. You've got a goal now, however you did on the other side, you want to do on this side. Keep that Garudasana, cross of the arms, so you're stretching across the shoulders. You've done as many to the one side as you did to the other side. Relax your arms, keep your knees bent for now. Relax your neck, your throat. Sometimes in abdominals, we tend to clench the teeth or harden the neck and the shoulder muscles. So feel your own body here. The arms are laid just slightly out to the side, palms face up to the ceiling. We're quietening the arms in preparation for Shavasana. Shoulder blades are down the back. The skin of the shoulder blades is down the back. The back is spread. Flesh of the buttocks is away from the back waist. Make sure that from the nose to the breastbone to the pubic bone is all a straight line. And when you extend the legs, they too are evenly centered, left and right. Once you let go of the legs, so relax the hips, the inner thighs roll out, the feet flop out to the sides. Make sure that the back of the neck is long and you're on the center back occipital lobe. If your chin is higher than your forehead, then take support of a blanket underneath your head. There was a time when I couldn't actually lie with my arms flat on the floor like this. I'd have to support and prop up the arms. So if you are dealing with any injuries, feel your body, prop your body however you need. If it aches your back to be lying flat, take a bolster under the knees. And then come to a quiet, gentle, peaceful Shavasana, where your body is placed so peacefully and straight that this pranic energy that you bring into the body with each breath just flows easily. Each time you inhale, that vital energy moves to every cell of the body. Each time you exhale, you're not just exhaling carbon dioxide, but all the toxins that have gathered up from those cells come out through the breath. Release any tension anywhere in the body. With each exhalation, release any thoughts that are distracting your Shavasana. Be with your breath. Inhale that beautiful pranic energy. Each inhalation connects us to this wonderful life. And with each exhalation, you let go of anything you do not need. Stay in Shavasana for a few more breaths. Stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like, as long as you have time for. When you're ready to come out of it, slowly begin to focus on the inhalation. Let the inhalation become a little bit deeper. Each inhalation bringing you back to the surface of consciousness. Bringing your hands anywhere on your abdomen where it's comfortable for you. Connect with the breath again. On the next breath in, stretch your arms over your head. Give your body a long, deep stretch. You can yawn or sigh the breath out. And then bending your knees, you're going to roll onto your right-hand side. Your head is cradled in your right arm. Your left side of the body just holds you in this quiet Shavasana state. Knees curled into the chest. And when you feel that the eyes are ready to open, you're going to press your left hand into the floor and use it to come up into a seated position. Bring the head up last, come up slowly. Once you're seated, close your eyes. Bring the hands back in the prayer position. Taking a few breaths here, just to feel the effects of our practice. A few breaths here, a few moments where we can give thanks for the health and strength of our body. On the next breath in, let the eyes gently flutter open and focus. Namaste. Thanks for joining. See you next time.